You already know what time it is. It is the end of the month. Yes, I waited to make sure that I filmed this on the 31st because every book was going to be counted in this wrap up. Let's get into it. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am Alika and today we are doing our January wrap up. Now, did this month drag? Absolutely. But I finished 15 wonderful books, allegedly. Like, it just ain't feel like I read 15 books this month, you know what I mean? But I did, according to Goodreads and Storygraph, because my apps match this year. Love that for me. Well, we're gonna see how long that stays, how long my apps match. But we got my iPad here with my Goodreads pulled up. So we are going to go through that because I remember most of what I read, but I want to make sure that I get every book and that every book gets talked about. Starting off strong. I started 2025 with a dystopian fiction novel, The Perfect Sister by Desiree. Look into my eyes when I say this. I am a romance girly, okay? Romance girly. So why I started the year with a dystopian fiction, I don't know. But I loved every minute of it. Every minute of that dystopian fiction I loved, okay? Now, the Black women separatists, it's a cult of Black women. They got their own doctors, lawyers, everything. So it sounds good on the surface, right? But then you get in there, it's very much don't think for yourself, don't be yourself. Very cultish. And now I need to read part two. I took a break because so much happened in that book, y'all. My little heart was not ready for everything that happened. But I get the hype with Desiree. Like, the girlies wasn't wrong with that one. I get it. I respect it. I can't wait to dive more into her catalog. Also, sidebar, if Desiree, you see this somehow, some way, if you have an extra ticket to your Atlanta Underground event, send it to your girl. I'm very upset that I missed that. But again, that's just is what it is. Book number two, Single Black Female by Tracy Brown. When I tell y'all, I am devastated that I didn't get into that lady's catalog before she left this earth. Because now we're not getting nothing else. Devastated. Okay? Devastated. But Single Black Female was so good. Again, it was one of those books where it pushed me as a reader because I'm not typically a multi POV girly. And so to get all these different perspectives of this one timeline where we deal with social injustice, we deal with race, we deal with incarcerated Black men, we deal with people coming from one area of life moving to another, we deal with sister dynamics. There's so much and it's written so beautifully. When I tell y'all I need this book on my shelf, I need to buy it. I need it on my shelf because I just loved that book so much. And it was such a great introduction to Tracy Brown's writing. Like, I went on a binge and just started buying stuff. I bought Brooklyn. I bought Hold You Down. I think I bought Boss. I bought something else. I don't even remember. But I love that lady's writing style. And for me to love a multi POV, you gotta be on it. But we're not like, I loved the book. Definitely check it out if you haven't before. I do have a video about that book already. It is in my book club review video because it was one of our book club picks. Next up, we have Death Amongst the Stars by C.M. Lockhart. So let me tell y'all something about Chelsea. I have followed Chelsea on TikTok my entire TikTok career. So what is that, about 3 years now? And I always thought her books were YA novels. They're not. And I'm so glad that I started with Death Amongst the Stars, The Lady Widow. Imagine marrying a space captain. He dies, but he leaves you his ship. You have never left Earth, but you got this whole ship. Now you got to command it and lead it, but you're grieving. Like, and then it turns into a revenge plot. I was all for it. She wrote that story so beautifully. Am I upset that there weren't more pages? Absolutely. Am I very excited for book two or however many books we have left in this series? Absolutely. It was such a good story. And again, it wasn't really a romance. Actually, no, it was not even, it wasn't really a romance. It wasn't a romance. There were no love interests. Her husband had died. Like, it was such a good book. Do you see a trend here? Like, your girl started off the year as something outside of a romance girly. Next, we have Telltale by Danielle Allen. which was a contemporary romance take on Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe. Y'all, I have been putting this off and putting this off and putting this off because I just knew it had a spooky, scary element to it, and it didn't. Seeing this take on a story that has like a horror-ish undertone was really cool, and I got to see like Danielle kind of really flex her writing ability to take that story, that Edgar Allan Poe story, and make it black and contemporary romance. Top tier chef's kiss. I don't know if y'all know, but I am a Danielle Allen stan. I get to meet her when I go to Texas in March, and I am so excited. Like, so excited to meet that lady. Next up, we have Never Say Never, which was an urban crime thriller by Tony LaRue. If that lady has no fans, I'm no longer of this earth because that that thriller right there, Never Say Never, baby, when I tell y'all, I just knew I had figured out who did it because there was no reason to say that the wife didn't do it. There was absolutely no reason. But baby, when we got to the twist and figured out who was the killer, jaw on the floor. Ugh. I am not a thriller. Well, I wasn't a thriller girly, but Miss Tony LaRue has converted me. I want to read more in her catalog. I'm going to read more in her catalog because if her thrillers are not so much formulaic, but if they follow the same patterns as Never Say Never, I'm good. I'm hooked. Make me think I know what I'm talking about and then tell me I don't. That book was super good. Next up, we have The Accidental Queen by L.R. Jackson. This is a Black Odyssey book. Y'all know me and Black Odyssey. If they have an arc, I'm gonna request it. And this one I didn't get it as an arc. This one's been out for a hot little minute. But the next book comes out, I want to say in March, and that's The Defiant Queen. But The Accidental Queen was really, really good. And it gave Coming to America, but a little bit more modern. Like I loved every minute of it. We have an African prince. It was a second chance. The betrayal, like y'all, when I tell y'all that book is good, go find The Accidental Queen. Like it gave everything it needed to give. So I did it as a buddy read ish. Like I read it and then my friend Chandra read it after me. And so she was texting me like as she was reading it. But we're supposed to read The Defiant Queen together. We gonna see because I think I kind of want some more of those vibes. That fairy tale, like something going on, you know, y'all know what I mean. So then we have Fake Around and Find Out by Mia Heinzelman. I really hope I say her last name right. I love that lady. Like me and her are friends. It is what it is. Fake Around and Find Out was this really cute fake dating story, except here's the twist. Both of them had crushes on each other in high school. So it's almost second chance, but fake dating is it was super cutesy. Like I will give it that. It is a super cutesy rom-com and I loved every minute of it. I did another arc. It was You Could Do Damage by Casey Mills. It wasn't my favorite Casey Mills book, and we're just gonna leave it at that. It wasn't my favorite. It is what it is. Now we have a new to me author that super stood out. Like, I want this book on my shelf. I loved everything about it. And that is Long Nights by Evelyn Latrice. That book was about Dream, who was a street racer but worked on cars. The female main character was fresh out of prison. She was young. She had some loyalty to this man that didn't come visit her, didn't put no money on her books, but was the reason that she was in jail and all together. And she wasn't even fighting or nothing like that. Like they were scamming together. But he left her when she was gonna get locked up. Like, ma'am, you owe that man nothing. That man clearly doesn't want you. Like, was in your face on the phone with his girlfriend talking about, okay, baby, I'll see you in a minute. We could have been with Dream. We could have been happy the whole book, but no, you wanted to be out here. Oh, I don't trust men. Da 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 da. Like, I get it, you're heartbroken, but babe, there is a man right here that wants to love on you. Please. I loved that book. If y'all can't tell by how passionate I got about it, I absolutely loved it. Next up, we have the Fairview novellas, which was Speak and Again. Speak, I got as an arc because JL Seekers loves me. That's just how I feel about it. It is what it is. I did a review for both of those books on my channel. It's the Fairview novellas review. And last but certainly not least, Never Faking About You by Aubrey J. When I tell y'all, that was one of the most feel good Oh my god, I love them. I wanted to read it again immediately after I finished books that I've read so far this year, and I honestly think it's going to be a contender for one of my favorite books of the 2025 year. I loved these characters. We met them in Caught Me Slipping by Aubrey J, and I fell in love with them then, and I just like loved them so much. Just want I still want to reread the book. It's such a good story. And just I don't have enough words to describe how much I love that book and everything about it and how that book has my heart. If you can't tell, that was probably my favorite book that I read this month. But yeah. I did two super short novellas, and that was Nami's Ecstasy by Emo Bash and Eight by Risley Adams. They were super cute, super short. Enjoyed them. But yeah, so 15 books. It was a good reading month. We're gonna see what next month holds. If it's as good a reading month, if it's better, I don't know. I don't know. My February TBR video is already out. Check that out if you want to see what I have plans to read in February. Y'all know I'm a mood reader, so we're gonna see if I stick to it. Bye.